I can't. Are we live? I can't hear you.
Wait, is that better? Is that
Yeah,
better? Oh, that's all right. I fucking muted myself. That's why. Yeah, how's it going, son?
Yeah, live from Ali Pally here, just waiting for the darts to start.
Not long to go now. Not what is it? A couple of weeks or something.
Can't be long, can it? Yeah.
Big. Yeah, and obviously, yeah, that was the last, and that is officially the last international break now until like March or
Thank
whatever.
God for that.
I know. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't even watch any of it. I watched a little bit of the Italy game, obviously.
The dodgy penalty decision.
Debatable. Well,
Debatable.
man, who was a quality ex-referee. He said it. He said he got the ball. He touched the ball. So I'm gonna go with his opinion.
I think if it was anyone but Mudryk, it probably would have got given. The fact that he's like flung himself to the floor is the reason given.
It was clumsy, though.
I didn't watch any of the England games, but I'm glad I didn't by the looks of it.
Yeah. Right, so let's get into it, son. So yeah, we'll go through a little bit. Obviously, it's been 2 weeks since we were last on, and since the last game, we will quickly recap and then have a look at what is quite a tricky game week. So I suppose. Sorry, let me just zoom in a little bit.
We got any viewers there?
That's a good question.
Alf about?
Yeah, let us know if you tune in the comments. We are obviously a bit earlier tonight. It's probably not maybe a slightly less convenient time. Well, that's good viewing. That's a nice, easy win last week.
I just remembered what I did last week. Yeah, fucking hell.
Oh yeah, it wasn't the best for you.
That's quite a high score for the week. Is it 87? I think
it was. Yeah, it was. I mean, obviously, I did play my free hit, but I'm glad it worked out. Yeah, so I've closed the gap 7-5. I'll take that.
Right, yeah.
Considering I'm 40 points ahead.
Yeah. Gotta be disappointed with that.
Yeah, a little bit. And just to quickly recap then, so my wild card, it was obviously it went well. Free hit. It did go well. It could have gone even better. I'm still, my main gripe is obviously that I put in. I was tossed like it was a real toss up between Wan-Bissaka and Maguire, and I went for Wan-Bissaka, and he was fucking ill. There was no indication that he wasn't going to play.
I hate those ones.
So dry. And the same with Ben White as well. I mean, in the end, Arsenal conceded, so that wasn't the worst thing in the world. But why was Ben White? Why didn't he play?
Illness as well. There's no indication either.
So yeah, a bit annoying. I mean, even I would have just taken Maguire. Obviously, the other big scorer, we'll come on to that on your team, was a defender who it was difficult to put Tsimikas in because the week before he didn't start.
Oh God, yeah, I forgot about that cunt.
Yeah, I mean, you can't. I couldn't put him in a free hit team when the week before he was dropped. So,
no.
But he was obviously a huge scorer. But yeah, just Maguire. That was my only gripe. Other than that, I mean, obviously, yeah, Mitoma, he didn't start either, which was pretty annoying.
A lot of people probably had him though, so it's no big loss.
Yeah.
Although now that he's injured, it is a bit annoying. I'm in the same boat.
Well, yeah, I mean, I only had him free hit, so he'll come back out now.
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, obviously, yeah, Bowen, Watkins returning, Salah and Haaland, didn't matter who you captained, same score. And Saliba got
Ellie you put in, didn't you? Unfortunately, he didn't do anything.
Yeah. Saliba scored though, so that was prime because obviously, I mean, he was in my original team anyway, but obviously that was good. And then Onana.
When you think that we conceded, a lot of people probably had Gabriel, so you like doubled up on that.
Yeah, yeah, and then obviously Onana got a clean sheet and a bonus point. So yeah, average for week 64. That has put me up to 530,000 overall. I think it's my highest.
Nice.
ranks so far.
You're doing pretty well in the mini leagues as well, aren't you? You're in the sort of top.
Yeah, and like seriously, I mean, I'm glad I did it because I'd already fucked up basically by taking a -4, bringing in Nketiah, who ended up not playing.
Yeah,
and a defender who didn't.
yeah, who was it? Was it one of the Palace?
I can't remember. It was a defender who ended up being injured as well, I think. So, and he didn't play. So yeah, I mean, I had to do it. Hopefully, it does. You know, not having a free hit later on in the season is going to be a bit dry, but yeah, hopefully I can get away with it.
Yeah, nice.
Right, and then let's have a little gander. What's yours saying? Talk us through it. Talk us through it.
I'm blaming this partly on you, I reckon, because you banging on about. No, because you. I was sort of planning on not really doing too much, and then when you started talking about free hit, and I started looking at all the possibilities, I was thinking, oh yeah, I could make a few changes, but I didn't want to use a free hit. And for some reason, I convinced myself to put Højlund in, and not only to put him in, but to captain him against home to Luton.
Yeah,
I didn't watch the game, but like I assumed that he didn't really do anything, and then obviously saw afterwards that he missed like 2 sitters, and he put one on the plate for Garnacho as well, who messed up, took it around the keeper, and then spooned it. So on another day, he could have had a couple of goals and an assist. He didn't, so that fucked me up. I spent -8. That fucked me up, and obviously I've got Haaland and Salah. I think obviously the mantra is just captain either one of those, or if you've got Son every week, you can't really go wrong.
Yeah. I'm in a bit of that boat this week. Like, obviously, it's tempting as well because you brought, like, if you bring someone in, then obviously, like, I mean, at home to Luton as well. It wasn't it was unlucky. I mean, obviously, your bench as well is sad.
Yeah. So I think Tottenham was the first game of the week, and Porro got an assist within like 20 minutes of that starting. So it was already, the writing was on the wall at that point. And then Maguire got me a nice little 6. Then we got the news Matoma wasn't starting. And he came on and did nothing. Diaby looked sharp again. Quite happy that I kept him in. Obviously, I brought Palmer in more for long term because they've got tricky fixtures. But I thought you just got to have him the way he's playing, and being on penalties, he's a good enabler. Tsimikas already had, but couldn't play him, like you said, because he was dropped. It was a bit of a toss-up between Porro and who was it? Can't remember if it was Gabriel or Trippier. Because,
I mean, if you just had stuck with Haaland and Salah captain, you would have been fine.
That was it as well. I took to get Matoma in. I took Ward-Prowse out. He got 2 assists and bonus, and whoever else it was I took out did something as well. So it's like double shitness. But it looks like 60. I can't believe I got 64 points out of that. Like, so I actually got average. Yeah, I spent -8, but
yeah. I mean,
let's have a gander. Sorry, go back to that a second. I want to remember who else I had. So I had Ward-Prowse. Who was the other one I had? Oh, Maddison I had to obviously take out.
And then Woodrow. So
So the move would have been, in hindsight, keep Ward-Prowse. Although he hadn't done anything for the last few weeks, so I probably would have took him out anyway. Typical. He's got Burnley this week, so he would have been good to have. And then Maddison would have been an obvious straight swap for Bowen. Didn't trust that either. So I could have got away with a -4 for Bowen. Not even that, a free transfer for Bowen for Maddison, and then just kept the rest. Took the risk on Højlund, didn't pay off.
Yeah.
And then he got injured as well. So
is he? He's a maybe for this weekend, isn't it?
Yeah, I think they're hopeful. I haven't really had a look at the team news, to be honest, but I need to see how many players I've got injured as well. So it could be another tricky week for me.
Yeah, I mean, you're, like I say, you're unlucky because it is like if those 3 on the bench, if any of them played, that would have been decent. And then if you're just captain Haaland or Salah, you would have been fine. So
I think a few people had those same players on their bench and had a player that didn't play, so they had them coming on as well. So
yeah,
People probably got lucky with. I think that is the way forward, definitely though, this season with like the amount of players getting injured and like not knowing team news last minute. You've got to have I say probably 2 strong players on the bench at least now.
It was interesting. Like Palmer's pen was quality, and obviously a lot of his points have come from pens. It will be interesting to see what happens when Nkunku is back. I don't know what the time frame on that is, but
I think he might be back. Like I think he played a under-21 game or behind closed doors friendly type thing. So I think he's back either this week or next couple of weeks. I think.
Is it?
Yeah.
So yeah, not this weekend, but sounds like it's very soon. But I wonder what. I mean, it's going to be hard for them to drop Palmer because he's been one of their better players.
I mean, Twitter seems to think that he is the most likely to get dropped because it's basically out of him, Sterling, Jackson, but is Nkunku going to play as a centre forward? And then it's out, and then you've got Gallagher who's playing really well. So it's like, yeah, I don't know who.
Gallagher's a bit more sort of balanced as well, isn't he? Like,
so I think he'll still get plenty of minutes, but maybe not starting every game. I think he's still a good option to have in the squad, a good bench player.
Yeah. Their fixtures, obviously, like you said, they're tricky for the next 3 game weeks, but then they have a really, really good run. So it's like going to have 1 or 2 Chelsea assets. I mean, that's an insane run of fixtures.
I mean, if he does anything against Newcastle, Brighton, and United, he's going to go up another 0.2, maybe even 0.3 before that Everton game. So I just thought I'd get on him early.
Yeah, like with him, I'm not too worried about the price rise because he is just so cheap anyway. Like he's still only 5.2, so it's like I don't, and he's already selected by 10%. So I don't.
The only trouble is if you've got someone like if you've already gone down that route of having like Gordon or Douglas Luiz, same sort of price.
Yeah.
Then he happens to rise above them, then you might have to make another transfer to get him in. But I think, to be honest, they're still 0.2 or 0.3 ahead of him, so you're probably going to be all right.
Let's come on to the team for this week then. So obviously it's a tricky round of fixtures. I've taken a -4 because I kind of had to. So obviously I reverted back to my old team. I still had Maddison and Burn, so those 2 had to come out. So I went for Maguire, and now I'm probably going to regret not having Wan-Bissaka because I'm sure he'll be back in the team this week. But I just couldn't face putting him in after what happened, so I went for Maguire, and then I've taken a bit of a gamble on Eze.
He looked sharp as fuck in his first game back, so I'm thinking about getting him as well. Has he got what's his fixtures saying?
Mate, he's very low, like 4.6% selected by.
He's on pens and free kicks and corners.
Yeah, I think. Like he had a return, a couple of returns before his injury, and then obviously, and then he came back, came on as a sub, got an assist, and then last week got a goal.
Yeah.
And then obviously, but it's a bit of a short term one because they've got Luton away, West Ham away, Bournemouth at home, and then they've got a pretty solid run.
That's still right though. He's easily. I mean, that's exactly coincides with Palmer actually.
It does. Yeah, it does. That's what I looked at that. So hopefully that by then as well, it'll become a bit clearer what was going to happen. Like if Nkunku's back by then
there's another one of those Liverpool and Man City week out. Same.
I know. Yeah. So I thought bring him in as a bit of a differential just for 3 weeks, and then I'll figure out who to get him out for. I think like
that's
Bruno, I probably will come out after this week.
Yeah, because Chelsea are on the up.
Yeah,
you only really want him for that Bournemouth game.
Yeah, exactly. But it's not really worth hanging on to him.
For 1 week.
I don't know how much I've got in the bank. I've got 2.2 in the bank.
So
I could
upgrade the bench a bit, maybe. Like Gusto.
Yeah, Gusto. Yeah.
You could even upgrade him to James, like when their fixtures get better. Like, I'm sure James is going to be starting regularly now.
Thing is, I'm thinking Bruno might be time to get Son in.
Son, yeah, I need to get him because they still look decent. I know they lost to Wolves last week, but I think the first half they were looking. Well, basically, Ange just said, hasn't he? He's not changing the way that they play. And okay, yeah, he's going to have less quality players feeding Son, but everything's still going to go through him. So I think he'll still score all right.
Yeah, I reckon so. Like I don't know what their fixtures are saying. Spurs. Yeah, well, they've got Man City away next week though, so it's like.
But really in a way, though, I think that's like quite a good game for Son because it's like he's one of those where like he's better against more open. Like I think he'll do well against Villa this week because they're quite open. City, he'll probably do worse against West Ham and Newcastle at home because, especially West Ham, because they'll like sit deep and block.
I think I remember saying that for Son last season. I think he did get something at Man City, but like, it's like he is a sort of player that might actually be all right. They'll just hit him on the counters like hard. So maybe, but
well, you could afford to get him, and you still have money left over to upgrade Gusto anyway, wouldn't you? So
yeah, Gusto definitely needs to come out because he's just wasting a spot on my bench. Like he's never starting. It's literally like I need to get him out. Obviously, for my free hit, I brought in Livramento, and then he didn't fucking start either. I got away with it a bit with my free hit, to be fair, considering like White didn't play.
Yeah, it wasn't looking good at one point, but then the others made up for it.
Yeah. But Livramento still seems like could be a shout. Like he came on at half time. I like surely he's a better option than Hall for them.
Yeah, it's be interesting to see. Yeah, I guess there'll be a bit of rotation between them.
It's hard to cheap defenders. The other thing I was thinking about what I could do is if I wanted to just get a bit more money again is just to go for Baldock because he's like
3.8.
3.8. Because I think he was injured, wasn't he? But he's back now and he's playing, albeit they are shit. But like that's like.
But you need to do you need to free up any more money though? Really, your team looks pretty decent as it is.
Yeah, I mean, not really. No,
the defense could have better players, but not necessarily better fantasy. Like you could go for a Trippier or a Trent or.
That is the other one I was thinking. Is I could either with the money I have, I could swap Cash or Udogie. I won't take Saliba out, but Cash or Udogie, I could put Trippier in for them.
Yeah, I think Spurs are going to be a bit dodgy defensively now without Van der Ven and various others. See how they get on this week.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna. He's back from suspension, so I think I'm gonna play him.
Yeah, I'd play him over those other. Well, yeah, you ain't got much choice, have you?
Well, it's him or I think Cash. I don't know what Cash situation is, but yeah, I haven't got much choice. Yeah, he's gonna
got them at home. Yeah,
but yeah, you're right. My bench. Yeah, I mean, I was half like tempted to start Semenyo because away to Sheffield United, he did start last week, innit? And he was
looking dangerous.
Is he?
He had a couple of chances, didn't he? I don't know if he actually did anything, but
no. Probably.
Did they win it? Hold on in the end. Yeah, they beat Newcastle. Yeah.
Yeah, 2-0. Yeah, but yeah, he didn't get anything. But he played 80 minutes.
They did play well in that game. They definitely deserved to win.
That's the thing, though. You wouldn't think that they'd drop him if he played 80 minutes. They won 2-0 against Newcastle.
What's his fixtures looking like? Because I got a feeling that with them, obviously they brought this new manager in, and I'm getting sort of Arteta vibes from him in the fact that he's like got a way of playing. He won't change it. Once the players start buying into it and they get a bit more confidence, they'll probably be, fairly decent. He's got a decent run of fixtures as well.
Yeah, well, Solanke is obviously like the better option. He scored both goals, didn't he?
Yeah.
So yeah, but I don't know. He's not the cheapest, was he? Like 7 mil or something.
I think he's like 6 something, but it's like when they're that close to like a Darwin or an Isak, it's like, I don't know. I've never really been a massive fan of him, so
nah, nor me, nah. And then my final thing is like captain wise, like it's tempting to go for Saka.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I was checking our team news earlier. It looks like Odegaard's back. Jesus came through the internationals fine, so I think we're going to be pretty much full strength. Ben White will be back as well. But yeah, I don't. Like our XG every week is like we're at is like 3 or more. Like we got to be up there for XG like overall, but we just don't score that many. Whereas like City, okay, yeah, Liverpool a good team, but I can just see like I know Trent doesn't play right back anymore, but Doku's still going to be dangerous against whoever he's up against. I can just see Haaland just being there for tap-ins.
Yeah, I think it's a defensive option as well, isn't it? It's just covering what most people probably do, and like
that's what you got to do with captain, really, isn't it? At the end of the day, and then let your differentials do the business.
Yeah. As long as he is definitely going to play, isn't he?
I haven't read any news, but like usually with him, he starts like he only came off as a precaution, didn't he? And I think they said that he's going to be fine pretty much straight away. So
yeah, like of all the games,
exactly,
of all the games they wanted to play, it'll be that one. Jeremy Curtis, he's getting rid of Estupinan or Gusto in place of Anderson. CP have a decent run of games. Like I said, yeah, the next 3 games, 3 game weeks are good. Ryan, obviously, who's doing really well. He's backed Crystal Palace quite hard defensively the last few weeks, and it's worked out. Last week it didn't, but before that it did.
I'm not giving any more advice to Jez because I told him to put. Well, we told him to put Saliba in last week, and he did, and he's in most of our leagues. So it's off, Jez. Like, yeah, the only thing with Palace is their fixtures, like we said, change a little bit.
Yeah, but it's a bit short term. But you got 3 decent weeks. But although next week West Ham away that's going like.
I would keep Estupinan because he's going to be back soon, and he is like very attacking. And if you've got a bit of money in the bank to upgrade Gusto, then maybe you could change him for like if you've got enough to get a 4.5 defender, then I would probably do that because the expensive. I'll scratch Mitchell Anderson's too.
No, it's like Mitchell. Yeah, Mitchell's the other option, obviously for Palace. Yeah. But yeah, I'm with you. Like, it's hard in defense because like the 4.5 options like around that price, there aren't that many. Like,
it's not as like in other seasons. There's usually like at least a couple of teams below like the top teams that are like sound defensively. But I wouldn't really say like Newcastle were last season, so you had like Botman, but even they conceded a few this season. I wouldn't say that there's like Palace have done well, but there's not that many other like mid-table teams that are like known for being defensively solid.
No,
we've got good fixtures. If you can afford Gabriel there, 4.8, or I think Zinchenko's 4.9. If you can get up to one of those, we've got Luton coming up. We've got some other good fixtures.
Yeah, Zinchenko obviously he smashed it last week. What did he get? He got 10 points. He scored obviously.
He scored, yeah.
Yeah, I almost forget about him as a potential asset. To be fair,
I mean, if you look at his history though over the years, he averages like 1 goal a season. He doesn't really ever get assists either. Obviously, you probably get some bonus.
Yeah,
but
yeah. All right, let's have a gander at your one.
Okay, I haven't actually done anything with it yet, but this might be a good opportunity to have a look at some options.
Yeah, let's see what you're saying. Like, I know you were saying we might save a transfer.
Yeah, that's mainly because I haven't really looked at anything yet. But is this me? Yeah. Can you see this?
Yeah.
So yeah, I've literally not touched it. So that's why it looks like that. So obviously, issues are Højlund only 50% chance to play, and I need to check up on that. I mean, it was a dumb move, really. I got roped into that. Luton played so well the week against Liverpool. It's like, why did I trust United against them? But yeah, Everton this week, and then obviously they get worse. So it's like, do I keep him for this Everton game? Try and fight. if I find out that he's like most likely to play, I'll probably keep him just because
Yeah.
he's still differential and like it seems a bit silly to put him in for 1 week to spend all those points and then take him out.
I mean, you could start Palmer. You could start Palmer. Or
I've got that's for my bench is all right. I've got options. Don't really want to play Porro because I've got Diaby. I don't really like players playing against each other, although there's quite a bit of that this week with obviously.
I've got
But I think I'll stick with Alvarez. I'll probably keep that front three. If I find out Højlund is definitely injured, I can swap him for Darwin's an option, but obviously not ready for this week against City. But then they've got, I think, quite good fixtures after that, have they? Yeah, Fulham and Sheffield United. I think Isak's back as well, so I've got a few in that 7 to 7.5 bracket. Could go Solanke even.
Yeah, I thought a really cheap option. It's either that Awoniyi, or whatever the fuck his name is. He's out for a while, isn't he?
Oh, is he? So who else have they got? Dennis?
He's in for a while. No, I think it'd be Chris. They've got Origi, but he's only got 4 points this season, so he's basically like only come on 4 times. I don't know why. You'd think he'd be like getting quite a lot of minutes.
Yeah.
So that's a weird one. Yeah, or Chris Wood. Like probably, I mean, not great options, but they're cheap. I might wait and see who plays out of those two, and like.
I just read that De Zerbi's confirmed that Matoma's out for this week. So,
right,
it might be time to get rid because not amazing fixtures coming up.
What about going back to Mbeumo? Like they've got.
That's the one.
It's Arsenal this week, but then they've got Luton at home.
This is my problem: is like all the players that are worth bringing in haven't got that great a fixture this week, but then they get much better next week.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, let's just get the transfers over. I want to see if I don't know if I've even got any money in the bank.
What about Doku as well?
Yeah, I am tempted by him. He'd be a good differential. So let's say Matoma and Højlund out. Actually, I'm just going to quickly check on what's going on with Højlund.
I think it sounded. I watched a bit of Goldbridge earlier. Yeah, I think it sounded like he's probably all right.
Yeah, that's what it's looking like here. Okay, well, yeah, I'll probably. Yeah, he's going to be fine, I reckon.
Yeah.
So
as I think Eze could be a good shout as well.
Oh yeah, shit. He's 6.1 as well, isn't he? So I could afford him.
Yeah. Like. Yeah, I mean it is. Like they've got probably the best fixture of the week.
I'm 0.1 away from Mbeumo standard.
Oh, is it?
Well, yeah, it's probably going to be Eze then. To be fair, that is quite useful because that gives me some money to then upgrade Højlund to either Darwin and Kunku or Isak, whoever's like looking the best over the next few weeks.
I might even like go for Jackson in a few weeks' time potentially if I can get the money from.
He's another one actually. Yeah. Also, I've noticed that Turner's been dropped as well, hasn't he? I know that Ariola's all good for this week. Is he still good for a few weeks? Oh yeah, he's fine.
Turner's been dropped, has he?
Yeah, he's been dropped for whatever other keeper it was they brought in. He didn't play last week.
Oh shit! I didn't even realize that.
But I think we can hold out till wild card because I think they're all right up to.
Although it was they never keep a fucking clean sheet, do they?
Nah, they're one of the worst defenses in the league, to be fair. But then, like, you could get a few save points in that. So
yeah,
he always seems to be quite involved. Not really a great thing for a keeper.
Yeah, not necessarily in fantasy terms, but then they're just not many teams are keeping many clean sheets full stop. So it's not worth getting an expensive keeper. I really don't think.
Yeah.
Like just looking at the points tallies, like Alisson is the top scoring keeps. And
I think he does all right on the old bonus, doesn't he? Because he makes a lot of big saves.
Yeah, probably like passes it quite a lot as well.
So I could get Eze in for the next 3 weeks, and I won't have any players. He won't be playing against any of my players that I've got, which is good. And then game week 16, he's out for. Well, yeah, I'll have. Well, that's the thing. Actually, I can keep that 0.7, and so I could get. So what's Mbeumo's fixtures looking like? Let me just. After this week, they're quite good, are they?
Paj is there, yes, Paj. And Mbeumo, yeah, I think so. I saw a scout report saying like after this week, yeah, I mean Luton at home, Brighton away, Sheffield United, Villa. Then the only problem with him is that they missed that game week because they were supposed to be playing Man City. But that's
fine. You could get away
a
with.
while away.
Yeah, and if you've got 2 City, which most people have, or even 1 City, you could probably afford to bench him and the 2 City that week and use the rest of your team.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't have to even make any transfers. And then he comes back for these other decent fixtures.
Yeah. I've still got. I mean, Diaby's okay for one more week as well, but then they've got Bournemouth away next week, but then it's Man City, Arsenal. So
yeah, there's gonna be quite a bit of. There seems to be quite a lot of this going on now. Like no one's got a really amazing run. It's like fixtures sandwiched in between really hard fixtures. It's gonna be quite hard to, if you can find a way to get a good squad where you can rotate players around, or just use your 1 free transfer every week to swap. Then yeah,
I might take Diaby out. So I got one more week out of him, and then he's got to go. I might put in Sterling because they've got that good run. The early game that he would have for me would be United away, which is probably not a bad fixture for him.
Yeah.
Anyway, and then they've got that really good run, so might be Sterling in for Diaby, and then I can just leave him.
I'm going to make this as a transfer.
Their fixtures are prime Chelsea right up until Liverpool away on the 31st of Jan, and then even then after that they've got Wolves at home, Palace away.
Yeah, and Forest.
So if I put Sterling in, at least I could just forget about that for a while.
The only other thing with my team is I always seem to have 1 week I've got 80% of my team are playing away, and then the next week they're all playing.
Yeah.
But I guess it's City. Yeah.
I've got that this week. I've got one Spurs player at home, but it's Villa, and the two Man City players that everyone else is away.
Yeah, I think the only way I'm just thinking about if I wanted to get Son in, the only way I could do that now is probably be Diaby and Højlund out for go back to having a 4.5 striker and getting Son in, which is probably sensible because strikers don't really do that great anyway, unless you're 90 minutes every week and bagging 2 goals a game.
Yeah. My option, I'm just putting my screen back on because my longer term option to do that was. So I was definitely thinking. So if I put Trippier in this week, say for cash, or let's say it's for Udogie, put Trippier in. That literally leaves me with no money. That's all my money. But then, if I downgraded Diaby to where is he? To Palmer.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just I'm just a little bit worried about the Palmer situation. If not, it'd be a no-brainer. Then I'd have 1.5 Bruno out for Son.
Bang on, basically. I think it might even be at
0.1 for spare.
Yeah,
and then I've still got fucking Gusto, but Gusto obviously could come out.
It doesn't matter though because your midfield is so good. You're going to be playing 5 in midfield and 2 up front, so you're only going to be playing 3 at the back every week anyway.
Yeah, exactly. And then I've still got 4 defenders that will be playing.
And knowing James, he'll probably get injured by the time Chelsea's good run.
I know. I thought that as well. I did think, shall I take him out or shall I just wait for James to get injured again? Because The thing is, he's a fucking. I've realised with Gusto now that I've watched him play, but he's a fucking yellow card and red card liability, isn't he?
He makes a lot of rash challenges.
He is stuff
as well.
Yeah. So but yeah, I think that's I could get to this team in 2 weeks.
Yeah, nice.
Like, but obviously with 0.1 to spare, like Palmer's probably gonna be rising still.
We're gonna have pretty much the same team by that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'll go back to a 4.5 striker. I'll have Palmer, Son, Salah. I have exactly the same midfield. Trips, Maguire. I'll have Gabriel rather than Saliba. Same keeps. So I have like two different defenders. But that might be the way that it goes. It might be time for a little spell where everyone's got quite similar teams.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, there's obviously so many games coming up over Christmas and in the new year that it might be like that for like 1 or 2 weeks, but then it will start to diverge again. But at the moment, it's partly just because there's so many fucking injuries. Like,
yeah,
obviously Spurs a lot of people had like Spurs defenders now. Like they've got a lot of injuries, and you don't know. Obviously, Madison's out. Like, yeah, it always happens, isn't it? When there's loads of injuries, you just end up with a lot of similar teams.
Yeah.
Bowen.
Yeah, I think he's quite unlikely to play this week, and they said that his injury is like he's got fluid on the knee, which apparently is like 2 to 3 weeks. So he could miss a few nice fixtures.
I see. That's good to know.
Yeah, that was 2 days ago. I looked at that, so I don't know if anything's changed since.
Just wish I had Mbeumo from the start. He's actually like it was obvious in it with Tony being out, but yeah, he's the 4th highest scoring midfielder so far. Diaby's the 6th highest, which is higher than I thought as well.
He's what?
The 6th highest scoring midfielder.
Yeah, fair play. And he doesn't even play 90 minutes every week.
Nah, no, exactly. And he doesn't take pens or anything either.
Also, Moyes is saying they're hoping that Bowen will be available. So, yeah, probably 50-50 this week, but probably fine.
Back the next week.
Yeah.
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 All right, just quickly before we wrap up, let's have a quick look at the.
Yeah, let's have a look at the leagues.
So the heads ahead. I beat Kev. Kev still got a decent score of 75. Josh Avani with a 28.
That's the Højlund effect, isn't it?
This dude's always funny to look at. Yeah, he's Captain Højlund every week. Garnacho, Bruno. Yeah, that's a tough team. Did Doku not play at all last week? Is it?
Did he not?
Oh no, he came off after 58, and he must have got booked as well or something. I guess
that was a mad game. I forgot about that game.
Yeah, that was. It was a good watch. Yeah, tough year for Advani. Pernell smashed you.
Yeah,
Pernell's doing pretty well this year. Me and him are like our head-to-head's pretty
ding dong battle.
Yeah, I mean he's had Bowen for weeks, which has been good for him. He's had Watkins for a while, and then
that's a pretty good team.
I mean, we drew. Yeah, we drew. I just remembered, and it was like, I swear it said that Salah was going to get 3 and Tsimikas was going to get 2 bonus.
And then it swapped.
It swapped. Like I think it might have swapped after the full-time whistle, or like, yeah. So that got him a draw against me. I was fuming. I'll go on to Rye got 88. He's on fire.
He is. What's his overall?
I was thinking when Palace conceded, I was like, sweet, Rye's going to struggle this week. But yeah, Ward-Prowse 11. He overall, he's 290,000 rank.
He's nearly 100 points ahead of me. Fuck's sake. I've got some serious work to do to get involved this season. It's not looking good at the moment.
Yeah, you were making up good ground after a bad start.
Pissed me off. Like I should have just carried on with the safe and sensible. Had to get a splurge in me, and then fucking
Yeah.
What's Sandon saying then?
Right, killing it.
Yeah, only lost 2. That's mad.
See, it's one of those. How is Use above me with 642 points? That's ridiculous. Even Nathan in second. I mean, he's got 680 and he's doing well. Sloaner needs to pick himself up with 10 points, but it's quite tight. There's only like 3 points separating.
Yeah, I think with head-to-head, you only need a runner like get 3 wins in a row, and your things can change around.
Yeah. It just all depends on your fixtures as well, doesn't it? Like,
what fixtures have we got this week then? Any?
It's me against Edders, who's third in the league.
Oh, I've got
Matthew Cole against Ben Davis. Oh, I'm
too preoccupied with young Alf to remember to do his team. He's not watching the podcast, so that says it all.
Yeah, that is unusual. Yeah. Greg against Paj, Rye against Tim, Sloan against Smebby, which should be a chance for Sloan to pick up some points there. I just want to see mine and Purnell's head to head quickly. We've drawn 3 games.
That's mad.
Yeah,
out of only
12 weeks.
12,
yeah. So 12 weeks we've drawn 3 matches, which is I think we've drawn the last 2 weeks in a row 87, and 21. And we haven't even got like that similar teams really. Like,
no, not at all.
No, just coincidence. Other than the Alvarez, Haaland, and Salah, it's pretty different. But yeah. All right, and then finally the league table.
Yeah.
So Glenn is still top. He's got a bit of a gap.
Actually. Yeah.
Yeah, he's 57,000th overall.
Very good.
Fair play.
He's taking a piss, isn't he? He's even starting Luton defenders.
Yeah, Pickford in goal. Like, yeah, but Tsimikas, obviously, what a differential that was last week. I'm sorry for you, mate. I do feel sorry for you. But he's going to have to do something about his bench and his team because it's a bit dodge.
It is.
I'm guessing he'll take Maddison.
I just swear teams like this, they've always got 2 free transfers up their sleeve. I'm like, yes, they're going to be taking a -8. And then it comes around to deadline. You look at their team and it's like, it looks completely different to their team from the week before. And it says they've spent nothing. It's like, how have you done
that? Yeah, but I wonder he's going to put in for Maddison. That's a big decision. Ryan second. But yeah, I'm only 13 points behind Rye. So yeah, and then Greg on 72, 721. What's Greg's team saying? Let's have a quick look. Doubled up on the Arsenal. How did Arsenal concede against Burnley? I didn't watch the game, but what the fuck?
Yeah, I can't remember the goal now. Was it a mistake? It might have been. We absolutely dominated them.
Yeah, is it? Yeah, I was like, that seemed like an absolute banker of a clean sheet.
I think we did. It's been so long ago now, I can't even remember really. I'm saying we battered and we might not have done.
And Greg also had Tsimikas on the bench. It's harsh. Thing is, though, it was the logical thing to do. People who started him scabbed it a bit, really, because like the logical thing was to bench him after he didn't start the week before.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, it's a bit of roles reversed for us this season, David. So far, I need to. The thing is, since we launched this league, it's been going for two years. You've obviously done the double and very impressively, won them both times. Yeah. So it's always been won by a host of the podcast. So I need to try and keep that up, really.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. So but yeah, Glenn's going to take some catching, man. 40 points ahead of me.
But I feel like it was only 2 weeks ago that I was within like 40 points of top spot, and now I'm like double.
Yeah.
But it only takes 1 week to.
Yeah, to put it back.
Everything's around here.
And that's the thing. Now it is really with the games coming thick and fast, there's going to be like a lot of rotation in the teams.
You got to be on the team news and remembering week games and what time they kick off and different.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you might start picking out like some of the Boxing Day. You know, people might be preoccupied.
Yeah.
So yeah. But yeah, it also means that we'll be live every week now as well, and yeah, hopefully any midweek games. When
there is one coming up, not next week, the week after, I think.
Is there?
Yeah, I think next week's a normal. Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Oh, it's the prime week.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet. And then and then there's one where Man City obviously don't have a game week.
Yeah,
yeah, like obviously
I think
I'm
the
not
options aren't that great either on game week 18 for like swapping out.
Yeah, because Liverpool are playing Arsenal.
Yeah,
Newcastle away to Luton. That's probably going to be the one. I might
Tottenham home to Everton maybe as well.
It might be that. Well, I don't know. Like, could
Villa
potentially take Alvarez out for a week and put in Isaac or Wilson maybe.
Or Watkins against Sheffield.
Oh yeah, Watkins against Sheffield United. Yeah, true. Trouble with Alvarez has gone up so much in price.
It probably is a good week, like this week, to start planning for the rest of the first half of the season, isn't it?
Yeah.
You don't want to be guessing every week.
And I haven't got the option to use my wild card early, so I've got to I've got to look into Jan and not do anything too rash. All right then. The fixtures. Man City Liverpool's the early kickoff tomorrow, is it?
Yeah, Arsenal's the 5:30.
Gosh, it's gonna do I want to captain Haaland for a 12:30 kickoff? Saka, it might not be a bad week for Saka.
Yeah, Brentford have conceded a few goals recently, but usually they're quite solid at home.
Yeah. Well, I think the mad one would be to go for Eze. I was actually tempted, but then it's just such a big risk.
Luton looked alright, to be fair. Like, they held their own against Liverpool and United, so
yeah, and at home, they've got quite a small pitch, and
yeah,
I think they're not going to get smashed at home.
If he's that, I quite fancy Newcastle to. Chelsea still look a bit dodgy. Well, they still concede loads of goals, so Isak would be if he's back, would be a good differential.
Yeah, it's always a bit annoying with them though, because Wilson and Isak
they're always popping, aren't they?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, even they don't start together very often, so it's a bit of a tricky one. All right though. All right, cool. We'll leave it there. Sal, man.
Yeah, good luck.
No more 2-week breaks now, so we can. I'm so glad there's no more international, so we can just get into fantasy properly now.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. All right. Cheers. Take it easy.
Cheers, guys.
Yeah, nice one. Catch you in a bit.